What's going on, everyone? Championship Fit here, back at it again with part 2 of my HRV, heart rate recovery, auto sleep. All right, so the reason that I wanted to separate them into two parts is because I wanted to confirm something with my own recovery. Now, I had a theory that I was dealing with allergies or that I was getting sick.
Coronavirus!
Now, the allergy part is the one that came out true. The reason being because I came here to San Antonio for a conference, or two conferences actually. But when I got here, within day one, I started, my eyes started itching a little bit. I'm like, what the heck? My nose started running, started sneezing. I'm like, oh man. Throat started getting itchy. I started like slightly coughing, not too much. I'm like, man, do I have corona? So, I was like, it got really bad to the point where I'm like, man, scratching my eye my eyes were really, really red. Then I looked it up and said that this area is really big for allergies. I'm like, okay, well, let me go get some allergy medicine. So I ended up getting these. Boom, boom. I immediately felt better. So I'm like, so it must be my allergies. But I think my body was fighting it off initially after the first day that I didn't get good sleep. And that's when my training session was affected on that Saturday. So I would look at my recovery and it did not recover how I was supposed to. By the time that I was supposed to be, on Saturday, I was supposed to be at 5 stars, no less than 4 stars. But I ended up being at 2 stars. But I'm like, what the heck? That's not how it's supposed to be. Yesterday, as well, from that day that I did a hard training session on Saturday, which even though I was only at 90% of my max, I was doing all out. So full effort, even though I'm at 90%, it's still gonna affect you. Not nowhere near as much, but you're still gonna deal with some recovery things. But if you do what you're supposed to do and get your sleep, you'll recover better, which I did yesterday, feel a little bit better. I took the medicine, allergies weren't affecting me as much yesterday. And then today, I'm at 5 stars. I got great sleep. So I got sleep 2 days back to back, and I was able to actually improve. I felt great yesterday, but today, according to that, my app is telling me that I'm like really good. So I'm looking forward to that being tomorrow as well, because tomorrow's gonna be my first training session of this deload week. All right, so getting into the structure of it. Now, prior in the preseason, off season, I don't necessarily use it as much because I want that volume. I want to stress my body out. So there's times that I know I'm going into training, but I'm just gonna see what my body can take. Of course, I'm not gonna overtrain, slightly overreach at some point though, because you don't know what you can do until you try it, right? I would not risk overreaching in season with any sport, any athlete. That's my own personal opinion, but I can overreach in the off season or going into a break, because I know by the time you get back from the break, you're not gonna come back worse. You're gonna come back better because you were breaking yourself down. Make sense, right? All right, so with that being said, there was a time I slightly overreached, possibly, I think it was like November-ish time, and I could see on the HRV. Also, when I was sick, I can see it on my app. When I was sick, I could see that my body, my what's it called, HRV dropped all the way down. My recovery, my stars were just like at 1 or 2. I could tell I was sick at that point. For that 1 week, for the next week, it raised up because the body recovered better, right? And I was like, getting more rest and things like that. When you're sick, your body's down. When you do what you're supposed to do, your body gets up, right? Just like these last couple of days when allergies was kicking my butt, which allergies will kick your butt, and allergies will make you feel bad. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, your body's fighting 2 battles. You're staying up later, you're not getting as much sleep, plus your body's using all the resources to stop you from, the allergies are messing you up. So that's not gonna help you with recovery. Now, like I said, how I would use it, I wouldn't necessarily rely on it completely prior, but I do wanna get a gist of it. I wanna still look at it. Do not look at it prior to training if you know you still want to train and you know you're supposed to have a hard training session, all right? For example, this past week, I knew I had a hard training session on Wednesday. I wasn't sure if I was recovered, but this is my last time trying to just, overload myself. So I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm going to train. I'm going to look at it afterwards, and then I'll see what my results are like. So I ran overall decent time because my body was still explosive, but I didn't run the fast fly, a 30-meter fly like I wanted to. My 30-meter fly was slower. So I looked at my recovery and I was not recovered completely. And that lets you know because I had a feeling about it because I was feeling a little sluggish that day, but I was still fast and explosive because you just are what you are. If you've been training, then even at your lower percentage, you're still going to be able to perform pretty well, which is a good thing because you're not going to be fresh every single time you're training. So that's kind of another reason I kind of want to keep that mindset and say I'm still going to train some. Even when I don't feel all the way, let's see what I have, because there's going to be times that you're going to have to perform when you're not feeling 100%, right? But you just don't want to train max speed or test out on those days, right? So I've always thought that I was a guy that recovered a little bit, took a little bit longer to recover, but that just basically put that stamp on it. It was like, yeah, for sure, you take a little longer to recover. So yeah, that's just how I use it. As you can tell, it's been pretty accurate with me and my recovery. So going into season, that's kind of, I'm going to structure it. I'm going to be very flexible with my days of training. Whenever I wake up, I'm going to look at it. And if it tells me I'm training hard that day, I'm going to be training harder that day. And the reason that I'm doing it is because it's been accurate with me. A lot of people, somebody be like, well, I don't want to. If it's not accurate with you, hasn't been accurate with you, then I wouldn't recommend it. Listen to your body as well. So I mix it up. So if even though it says I'm 100% and I feel like trash, if I feel like trash and I'm not feeling it, then, or I'm going through a whole lot of other things, I'm not going to do my hardest training session that day. So it has to be a variety of different things that tell you whether or not you're ready to perform that day and how you can go about it, right? So I hope that helped you guys. Hope you guys got an understanding of it. Like I said, for me, it works really well. I plan on continuing to use it. I'll see how it goes. I might make another video on this later on, but currently I'm going with it and it works. So if you want to get better, if you want to track your recovery better and perform better and make sure you're performing at the best times to give you the best chances to run the best, make sure you use that and let me know how it works for you. All right.